welcome to the State of Football, Season 2. I think we're part 38 already. I can't read Roman numerals, so that'll be up for Rick to tell you guys whatever show we're on Monday. But I'm really excited here today. We're on the Fan Nation Network, powered by Sports Illustrated, as always, on the NFL Draft Pod. We got an ELF Championship Game Special Edition coming for you guys today. I'm really excited about it. We got awesome guests. We got the Frankfurt Galaxy head coach, Thomas Kösling. We got their quarterback, who a lot of viewers are already familiar with. He was on earlier this week, and Jakeb Sullivan. And then we'll have on the Hamburg side, we also have two great guests, and their left tackle, Keanu Ebanks, and we'll be talking to their defensive coordinator, Kendral, Ellison. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fun show here for the next hour. And without further ado, I say let's get Coach K in here, as I'll call him. Head coach Thomas Kösling of the Frankfurt Galaxy. Almost said universe there. I'm sure it happens to you as well. But thank you so much for making it. How are you today?
Hey guys, how are you doing? Thanks for having me. And yeah, no problem with Galaxy Universe. That's still my life. So it's purple football in Frankfurt, and right now we are the Galaxy. So I'm okay with that.
There you go. Me too. It just slips out a couple times sometimes, But are you guys already in Düsseldorf, or how are you getting on? Are you guys going over there tomorrow? I know you were there earlier in the week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've been there on Tuesday for the press conference by the league, but with the team, we're going to drive to Düsseldorf tomorrow morning. Today is still a regular practice day for us. We're going to have some video meeting later and some walkthroughs and going to the same stuff, but we do that all season. So the Friday is a regular practice to get more of the mental reps. And then tomorrow we start pretty early to go to Düsseldorf because there's something going on with the media section and stuff like that. So get used to the ELF bow feeling, but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, always the media, But how's the vibe around the team right now? Obviously, if you said you've been meeting all week, how would you describe it in general?
I would say we're all ready to go now. I mean, it's a long season, and you're starting with a plan, and you're starting with a vision of being a good team and maybe playing for a championship, right? And then step after step, you get closer to that goal, and you realize you are one of the best teams, if not the best right now. And yeah, we are close to play the big game. That's why we did this. That's why we started this adventure to become the first champion of the ELF. And yeah, now we have to do one more step. We are ready. We had 2 weeks of preparation of Hamburg, which we already played 2 times. So it was really like, we know what they're doing, I think. I mean, they know what we're doing, obviously. And now it's about who can surprise who a little bit and making the right adjustments. So, but I think we're in a good mood and ready to go.
And I think something that will be really interesting for the viewers here on Sports Illustrated, we obviously got a lot of American viewers. If you were able to explain your journey to becoming a head coach, just how did you get introduced to the game of football in Europe and Germany? I know it's more of a fringe sport, really. It's really the game of soccer, and then there's nothing really else. Can you explain how you got introduced to it and how you got to your role that you're in now as the head coach?
Yeah, and basically like every young kid here in Germany playing soccer, right? So I did that too. But with the age of 14 and my school at the middle school, we had something like a project week. So before the big summer break we have for 6 weeks, there's always a week for the pupils in the school to select a different path and doing some different stuff. So, and there was one flag football, how can I say it? Yeah, just group from a former GFL1 team, Hanau Hawks, and they did a 1 week project with us, and I was elected to it, and it made so much fun. So I got really into football. I still played a couple of years soccer, but then at the age of 18, I changed the sport, played youth football for 2 years, then played second league, then switched to the Frankfurt Universe in 2007 with a goal to go to the top league. And after we hit the second league, I think in 2014, I retired because of some injuries. And luckily for me, the former coach, Mike Williams, put me right in the defense coordinator spot because he trusted me. He said, hey, that's your chance. I think you can be a good coach. And I took that chance because it was something special. And then from 2014 till 2018 to 19, I was a defense coordinator for the Frankfurt Universe. We've been to the GFL Bowl to the German Bowl and unfortunately we lost to that game. But then 2019 mid-season, I became a head coach. And then after the season was forfeited because of COVID, the ELF happened, and the Frankfurt Galaxy, or the boss of the Frankfurt Galaxy, decided to ask me if I want to join that adventure. And of course I took it because it was very fascinating from the beginning.
Yeah, it has been. And Coach Williams, certainly great eye for talent there. But also something that I think will be interesting is, what does your role as a head coach entail, and how would you say it's different from potentially being a head coach at a high level of football overseas in the United States?
I mean, I'm not. I have no experience how to be a head coach overseas, but I can say from the difference between a defense coordinator and a head coach, you have to take care of everything. I mean, I was defense coordinator for a couple of years, and you can just focus on the defense, and you don't have to do a lot of stuff with the organization stuff, with the planning to trips, with how you set up the meetings, and of course the personal. I mean, so many guys calling now because you are the guy who's taking the last word, or they need your answer for some decisions. So you have to do a lot more decisions, and that's the biggest thing. And of course you have to say how you want to run the team. So this is a big thing, and it has a lot of responsibility for me, but that's what I like. That's what I really love, to be the guy who says, hey, I want to have it like that, I want to have it like that. But still, because I love defense football so much and being the defense coordinator, I never give that up right now. So I have to say the offense is really independent. I mean, I have an OC in Patrick Griesheimer who running his offense. I mean, of course, we're talking about it. If I see something, I just discuss it with him, but he has total control of it, and he's doing a really great job, which makes it a lot easier for me, so I can still focus on the defense more than on the offense.
I was just going to say, he's doing an outstanding job with that offense as well. Your guys' team really well coached offensively, defensively. But let's go back to the start of the season, because it was a new thing, the ELF. You potentially didn't really know what would other teams play like. What was your expectation from a sports perspective, from a results on the field perspective, but also just from a general league perspective for this new season? And have your expectations been met?
Yeah, when the situation with the ELF happened, it was really fascinating. I was totally in it. I'm a guy who likes to take challenges and like to build something new. I mean, I have to say, with the German Football League, everything was fine and they're doing their thing, but something was missing, and it was really a little bit on hold. Nothing got bigger or whatever. The football is not developing, in my opinion. So the ELF happened. So what we have to lose, and it was exciting to see what it could be, and the plans and the visions, of course. So I was really on fire from the beginning. Then bringing a team together, I was lucky enough that basically my team from the Frankfurt universe, where we were very successful, they also believed in it, and the players were, hey, let's do the new league. Let's see if we can change something. So I was lucky enough to bring a really good team to the ELF. So from our point of view, it was really like, hey, we played for the championship in the GFL, which was known as the best league in Europe. So we're pretty sure that we can do it in the ELF too, but we don't know how the other teams are. And I have to say, it was really cruel and a great surprise that the competition on the field was really, really good and higher than I thought, especially on the first game at Hamburg. I mean, basically the preseason teams that many choose to be the favorites on the plate against each other. So we got a feel, and we said, hey, we lost the first game. This is legit here. And then also the games against the Panthers, Barcelona. So we had so many competitive games, which makes so much fun and so much, excitement for the upcoming years, when hopefully other teams joining, and we hear the rumors about some top teams from Europe. So I think the European League of Football is really on the path to change the level of playing here and change American football a little bit, hopefully.
You're absolutely right. And at halftime, it's expected that there are some new teams coming in. So for everyone watching here from the United States, 8:45 a.m. Eastern, you might have to get up a little early on Sundays. It's kind of like a London game, but you can go to, I think it's EuropeanLeagueOfFootball.com, and you can buy that pay-per-view, I think, for the championship game, for all the games, and watch it, because it's going to be it's going to be an exciting one. I'll be out there live, which is going to be great. But we got a question in the chat room. Sam, can we pull that one up? Yeah, okay. We got Kasim Edetail. All right. I was waiting for this one. Have you prepared for the event? As Eudu Uribe asking that he's playing again, or is your preparation? Does it not matter whether he's out there or not?
I mean, the good thing is we played him before, so it's not like a fishing in the dark like we did in the first game when we just heard the name. And I mean, obviously we knew him from the TV and stuff, but to get a sense for what he is on the field, it helps because we think he's gonna play. At least he will try for a few plays, and then we see how it works. So we have a feel for a little bit of a game plan too. So, but at the end, it's not about one guy in football. He will make them better, and that's good. I mean, Hamburg is there for a reason. They have a good team, a solid team. With Kasim, they are better, but at the end, we have to execute. We have to do our job on all phases of the game, and then it really doesn't matter so much like many guys maybe think.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I'll ask Coach Ellison later when he comes on whether he expects him to play, but you do, so that's really interesting. But let's talk about it. A lot of the talk has been that I think the opposing head coach called you the FC Bayern of the league, and you're obviously heavily favored into the game. At least that's what everyone's talking about. Do you expect, or do you think it's fair that everyone's favoring you guys to win the game on Sunday?
I mean, it's fine that we are the favorite because we had the best record in the season and basically we beat every team we faced. I mean, Hamburg beat us in the beginning, but you could easily argue, yeah, that was the first game, you know, nobody knew each other. And then when the season goes on, you can say we played the best football for 12 weeks, right? So I have no problem with that. I mean, to tell we are the FC Bayern, I think that's a little over-exaggerating. I mean, I understand the psychological part. So getting the underdog role for the most teams is a lot easier to handle and put some pressure off the players. So I feel what Coach Normanson tries to do. But again, I have no problem with it. At the end, we want to win, and I don't care if we are the favorite, if we are the underdog, or how people sees us. We had the goal from the beginning to win the thing, and we try to do it, and that's what we will do on Sunday. What we put in everything into it, and it doesn't add pressure from the outside because we put the pressure on ourselves from start one when we hit the field and saying, hey, this is going to be a championship team. That's why we're working for. So on Sunday we will see if we do it.
And in week 8, you guys beat Hamburg pretty convincingly, 35-9. I'm expecting this one to be a lot closer, to be honest. Do you expect the game to be closer and to be tougher as well, or do you expect it to be similar as in week 8?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can never expect an outcome like that if the two top teams playing. And I mean, of course, we knew that Hamburg was hit by some key injuries. I mean, injuries, everybody has injuries. I mean, our American running back was injured since week 2 until the end of the season. But of course, the D-line from Hamburg is their bread and butter. And with Bombeck and Edetail out, it was a tough hit. I can see that. So we knew that they are a little bit injured, but of course, they are still a good team. But I think at this day, I think 2 parts played into it. We had a really, really good game at that day. I think we really put the football on the pad ladder and executed on every phases we had. And Hamburg maybe didn't have his best game plus the injury, so that made the score a little bit open. But I'm not expecting it to be on Sunday the same. They will be totally refreshing. Maybe Edetail is back, but their whole totally mindset will be different. And I'm pretty sure even they feel like the underdog. They not coming there to give us a title, so they will fight for it. So it's going to be a lot closer and tougher for us.
Absolutely, and your defense. Let's get into the scheme a little bit here for people that are going to tune in for the first time. You'll see the Frankfurt defense. They do a great job, in my opinion, of disguising looks, really sending pressure when the opponent doesn't expect it, or get out of pressure right at the snap. How much pressure does that put on your players, though, to be able to line up in the correct spots and do the right thing?
Defense football is about alignment assignment, and this is the biggest key. You have to be sound, and sound means you have to have all the things prepared, and the players have to know where they have to be, and this is something you need to do. We taking so much time in, I call it formation drills, where we putting the formation from the offense into it, and we rolling our coverage that way or playing like that, what the game plan gives us. And this is really a compliment to my players. They allow me to be that flexible, and they allow me to have some option calls, really. So I don't know at one play what we're doing, if they're showing us that, maybe we're blitzing. If they're showing us that, we maybe stay in coverage. So I think this is a little bit the secret, that the players, with these players, I can do these kind of things where it's really surprising for everyone what is the outcome. And we are very athletic. We are swarming to the ball, which is another emphasis of this defense. We are really try to play ball hawking defense. And I can say it's a lot of fun to see these guys, to watch these guys, and hopefully on Sunday we do the same.
Absolutely, and you guys got obviously the big play. I think that was on a zero blitz in week 8, where you guys got the interception that pretty much, in my opinion, sealed that game. And it's also very important in that type of situation that you can trust. You guys have 2 import DBs that you can trust those guys to stick in man coverage. Obviously, you guys have just done a great job with those defensive calls, but also on offense. We'll get into it a little bit here with Jakeb Sullivan, the quarterback, who we'll have on next. But before I let you go, is there an injury update on your running back, Gerald Amen, who got banged up in the last game, limped off, looked pretty bad? You guys obviously go 3 deep at running back, but I think it makes that offense really special if all 3 are healthy. Is he going to be ready to go?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate for this young kid. He's ready. So we dodged a bullet, I guess. He had a lot of pain, and I don't get into details, it was a very painful injury. And he had to put a little bit, not a big surgery, a little thing that has to be repaired, but he's fine. He practiced already, I think the last week. He started at the end of the week, so it was something he could recover really fast from. And I'm really happy because he's a young guy. He has so much talent. And it's good for him to get that experience in a bowl game with 20,000 people. I mean, that's why these guys doing this, and that's what make them better, because it's another thing that we don't have every day. So we are basically full go. I mean, we got also a phase in the season when we got a lot of injuries. I mean, Wayne Drew, Desmond Cooper, Kendral King, all 3 starters basically went down to season-ending injuries, and we had to recover from that. But the guys did a good job. We brought in some new guys for the injured people, and that fit perfectly. So right now we have nothing to complain. We are full go, and the team is ready.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys did a great job with recruiting, just building a super deep roster. I think hitting on your imports. But last thing, do you have any parting shots before I let you go? Anything you want the fans to know? Anything that the American audience maybe that are now ready to tune into the game on Sunday morning should know before I let you go here?
Yeah, for all the American guys, American football in Europe is coming. We play it too, and I don't think we play it on a bad level. Especially the bowl game Hamburg against Frankfurt will be something cool. It will be a great surrounding, and I think it's worth it to wake up a little bit in the morning and starting the football Sunday before the NFL with some ELF, because there's going to be a big thing. I think we're going to get bigger, and hey, maybe you see some guys that you may be watching in a few years in the big pro. So hopefully you're joining us and have fun. Hopefully to see you.
Absolutely. And yeah, I'm excited for it as well. This was a lot of fun, 2 German guys speaking English to a primarily American audience. It's a little bit unique, but we all love football. We can see Coach Kösling, Coach K. Thanks so much for coming on, and best of luck for the game. And yeah, just have a safe trip over to Düsseldorf. I know it's not all too far, and just good luck for the game.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So that was Coach K here, the head coach of the Frankfurt Galaxy. We're going to go right to the next guest because we got a lot of cool guests lined up. Jakeb Sullivan next, the quarterback here for the team. The State of Football viewers are already familiar with him because you had a great performance on the show here. I think it was Wednesday. Jakeb, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. I'm happy to be back. Thanks for having me.
And yeah, I mean, we're excited to have you again. I just asked Coach K. I'll ask you too. How's the vibe around the team right now? It's just 2 days away from the championship game. What do you feel like from just talking to you and being around your teammates? What's the general, just the vibe around the team?
Yeah, it's hard to find a word for it, but everyone's just enjoying the moment. And we had our last full practice last night, full go with full pads and everything. And, it was one of the first ones, I think, where not a lot of guys were complaining. I think a lot of guys were just, enjoying it was their last one. And like I said, enjoying the team too. I've talked about it before on and some other times, but this isn't going to be the same team next year. Life happens. We're going to have a whole new crew. We might have the core. The core might be the same, but it's never going to be like the way it was this year, which is fine. But we want to enjoy this year. And guys are just happy. I think some guys are a little banged up right now. They're ready to play that last game and hit a little recovery. But after a year of COVID, and having the opportunity to come play in a on a stage like what the ELF is providing us this season and what this championship will be, how can you not just be grateful? So that's how I feel. I'm really grateful, and I know a lot of the other guys are too. And man, we're excited for Sunday.
And rightfully so. 20,000 tickets, I think, sold last time I checked. There's still some available. So people that are able to go, I know I'll be out there. Go get those tickets. Make it 25, make it 30. I know the COVID restrictions are going to be coming in there at some point where it can't be more than that. But go get those tickets, because I think it's going to be a great game. But let's talk about your journey before we get into the game. How did you end up playing football in Europe? You broke 17 school records at South Dakota Mines, had a great senior season there. How did you end up coming over here and playing?
Yeah, so I guess it all kind of started, my senior season at School Mines it started the fall of 2018, it was the fall of 2018, my senior season. And it was very comparable to this season. It was a lot of guys just enjoying themselves and having fun, and guys who were pretty dang good at football too. So it was a fun season for me. And with that, I had a pretty good statistical season. So I was up for, like you said, 17 school records. I was up for the Harlan Hill Trophy, which is like the equivalent to the Heisman for D2 then. And then I actually started getting some Facebook messages, and then actually some coaches started calling my head coach, Zachary Tinker, who was our head coach then. And so some Facebook messages from some teams from like Norway, Marburg, which I actually ended up going, hit me up. And then I think it was Kierstorf, so like another GFL 1 team. So not a lot of teams. And for me, after my senior season, I had a ton of fun. And I had my engineering degree basically by that time, because I was going to graduate in the spring. And I was kind of just ready to go work. I had a lot of fun playing football. I've been playing football since I was able to walk, with my dad as a head football coach at St. Thomas More in our hometown, a small high school. So for me, I had enjoyed my time playing football, and I was ready to start the next chapter, whatever that may be. And then I started getting those messages, and I started thinking about it a little bit. And my family has spent a lot of time in South Dakota, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I think I wanted to see a little more. I knew there was something else out there for me. And I have 4 younger siblings. Yeah. And like I said, I think on Wednesday too, a big reason why I came is I wanted to be a role model for them. I wanted to show them that, hey, it's okay to go out and branch out a little bit, and explore, adventure, see something, make some mistakes, learn from them, grow. And for me, being able to play football, which I still had a ton of passion for, and truthfully, I felt like I was just getting better every year. Every year I was getting better. And I was like, shoot, why not? I'll just do it. And, I went over to Marburg in 2019, and it was an interesting experience, man. I don't think we have enough time today to talk about everything that happened and my time there, but it was a learning experience. And, eventually it was an experience that led me to be here. And I'm really, thankful for that. And so I went from Marburg, had a great season there with a lot of great guys, made some great friends I'll have forever. Broke a couple records there too. Got asked to play in Vienna for the Vienna Vikings. And that was really big for me too at that time, because, Vienna was a city that I had known about and I really wanted to explore, even from a younger age, and having that opportunity to play football and then be in this beautiful city. Of course I said yes. And unfortunately COVID happened. And, I spent the whole quarantine basically alone in Vienna, which was an experience I also am very thankful for, because it was really cool. I don't know if you've ever been to Vienna. Usually pretty packed, the city center. It's usually pretty busy. big, beautiful city. And during quarantine, you were allowed to go outside if you were exercising, alone or going on a run. So shoot, I got big into running and I would go for, 2-3 runs every day and just try to explore as much as I could of the city. Cause I lived it was about a 15-minute run to city center from where I was. And man, it was awesome. I learned a lot about myself. I realized that I was right when I didn't like running in the first place. Running isn't very fun. And yeah, so then I went home in July, had some job offers actually to be an engineer and start that next chapter because I didn't know what was going to happen with COVID. I have 2 really good friends who are engineers in Hawaii. They actually brought up an opportunity for me to be able to work in Hawaii. But the thing was the timing didn't work out. Coach K had already hit me up and said, hey, man, this is what we're going to do next season. We're going to have the ELF, Frankfurt Galaxy, and just the roster, everything he talked to me about. It was hard not to say yes right away, but I still had this, job offer in Hawaii I had to think about because, it's Hawaii, man. and I like the sun a lot. So, it just didn't work out. Right. So I had to tell Coach K at a specific time if I was going to, be their quarterback or not. And unfortunately with the Hawaii job, it just would have taken a little longer than the timing Coach K needed. So for me, in my mind, that told me that the right thing to do was to go to Frankfurt and continue my football career and, play for this amazing team now that I'm on. And now I realize, 2020 hindsight, of course. But yeah, I'm very thankful I made that decision to come out here. And gosh, man, yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Absolutely, and that's an awesome story, really is. And conveniently leaving out the part where you guys with Marburg, I'm right outside of Marburg, so you guys went to Frankfurt and beat them that one time. I was at 2 years ago, which that's obviously a big part of the story that I want to bring up selfishly. But no, that's it. All of these stories, we get from people from the ELF are awesome, and this one is right up there. But let's talk about the game a little bit. Last time you guys played Hamburg, I just talked about with Coach K. It was 35-9. They were banged up. It was a quote unquote easier game for you guys. Now I'm not expecting it to be like that this time. What do you think makes this Hamburg team so tough to play from the offensive side of the ball?
Gosh, man, their front seven's pretty good. They got a pretty good box. They have guys who are very big. First of all, they're a great big football team, and you'll see that on Sunday. Every position. I'm looking at everyone like this. So they're big dudes, and they're fast, and they play to the echo of the whistle. That's a big thing, and you see they all just have a big passion for the game, and they have really good leadership also on the defensive side, with Kasim Edetail. I've had a good opportunity this year to, get to know him a little bit. And, he's a great dude. And I know he'll probably be back for the championship game. And I'm ready to see him on the field again. I know he'll have those guys coached up and, fired up and ready to go. And that's another thing. That's what's going to be more difficult about this game for both teams. It's a championship game. Anything can happen. And for me, it's just doing the best of my ability to take care of the football and play efficiently. And honestly, you're not gonna see me out there trying to do too much. I have a lot of good players on my team. I'm very thankful for that, and I'm gonna let them make a lot of the big plays. But yeah, it's gonna be a dogfight, man, and I can't wait. I'm really excited.
And you're just talking about the talent around you. I know. Let's talk about a couple of those guys. Obviously, Anthony Mahangu, who I always talk about. He's kind of like the Julio Jones is in the NFL. That's kind of what he is over here. Just the size and the speed and the ability that he has. He's a pretty special player. But who are some other players on that offense that people really need to know about?
Yeah, I got 5 of them. Are you ready? I'm gonna start from left to right. Yannick Kiel, Sven Fischer, Joka Christensen, Lars, and Niels Humpel. Our front 5 have been amazing this season. And it comes with part of the job. They don't get a lot of love from the fans or from the media, whatever it may be. But I want everyone to know when they watch the Frankfurt Galaxy, the reason why we have so much success on offense is because of the front five. And I don't say that enough, and I really appreciate them. But gosh, man. And then after that, I think you already know basically all of our other skill positions. It's hard not to at this point. And I get in trouble sometimes, man, when I start saying names. When I start naming people, my brain shuts off and I forget some people. So how about this? Everyone in purple on Sunday's a weapon. That's what you need to remember.
There you go. And it's true. I mean, you guys go so deep at every position, whether it's wide receiver, you go 3 deep at running back. You got a tremendous tight end who's a playmaker. But also you guys do a lot of cool things on offense schematically with personnel packages. I literally went out there, watched you guys live for the first time, and one play you guys are going to be an empty 5 wide, and the next play you're coming out in a heavy set, puts a lot of pressure on those defenses. How much fun is it to orchestrate that type of offense as a quarterback?
Yeah, I was going to say that's a lot of fun. And, it's just unique, man. And another player, one that people should know, and if they don't already, Kevin Wamba, our tight end, number 87. He came a little later in the season, which may be why some people haven't heard of him. But, yeah, we can move him around quite a bit. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can go anywhere. And the cool thing about him, and that Genna would also think is a cool thing, and Justin and Gerald, is 87 likes to block. He can catch footballs. He can score touchdowns. But that man will put his face mask on your face mask and push you back a little ways. So it's pretty cool, seeing him do that and seeing him have success. And, all of our players. And, like you were just saying, that stems from us being able to be so, I can't think of the word, mobile. We can do so many different things. We're flexible. Sorry. We're so flexible.
Yeah, flexible. There you go.
Yeah. Gosh, and you probably will see 4 or 5 different formations in that first drive. And then the cool thing is we can come out in 2 tight end set, but then we can run empty for, 5, 6 plays in a row, then come back to heavy again, and then go 2 by, it doesn't matter. The thing is we have 11 guys on offense who are ridiculously smart, have very high football IQs, and who love the game. And they all know where they need to be. It doesn't matter the position they're in. It's pretty cool, man. It's a cool situation, and I'm happy to be here.
And Jakeb, man, thanks so much for your time. You're super easy to root for, although I will remain objective, covering this game on Sunday. Really a lot of fun talking to you. Do you have any final words, any parting shots for anyone watching right now, for anyone to tune into the game, anything they need to know, or the fans?
Sure. I kind of caught the end of Coach K's interview too, and what he said was correct. We do play football over here in Europe. I didn't know about it in 2018, but I do now. And honestly, man, I'm really happy to be a part of it. I think this ELF thing is going to be special over these next couple of years. Fans, keep doing what you're doing, and all the players appreciate it, not just on our team. We talk to players from other teams. The fan bases this season have been a big part. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. And, I'm looking forward to seeing every single person on Sunday. Maybe a little more if you're wearing purple, but no, everyone in there be loud. Let's make it a great show and a good game. I want to play a good game, and I think that's what everyone else wants to do.
Absolutely, Jakeb. Hey, thanks so much for joining us, man.
Thanks, man. Have a great day.
And that was Jakeb Sullivan, the quarterback for the Frankfurt Galaxy, potentially giving some tips in terms of personnel packages for our next guest here, because we're going bang bang here, one after the other. And next up, we got Kendral Ellison, the defensive coordinator, shifting over to the Hamburg Sea Devils side of the ball. Obviously, 2 guests from the Frankfurt Galaxy. First, now talking to Coach Ellison. Excited to get his perspective. Let's get him on here. There he is, Coach Ellison. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. A day off today, so I'm definitely trying to enjoy it, unwind and relax a little bit, but doing good. Trying to hold back the excitement a little bit.
Hey, there you go. You got only got to sleep 2 more times. You guys traveling out there to Düsseldorf tomorrow, or when's that happening?
Yeah, we're gonna head out early tomorrow morning, so it won't be a lot of sleeping going on until after Sunday.
Hey, yeah, then I mean, maybe not Sunday night, especially if you guys win. Probably won't be a lot of sleeping either. But then you guys got a long off season ahead of you guys, where you could sleep a little bit. But what would you say is the vibe around the team right now? Obviously, if you guys have an off day today, you haven't seen them today, but just this week of preparing, how would you describe it?
Oh man, the last 2 weeks, everybody's really at ease, so to say at ease, nobody's too uptight about the situation. We made it in. We had a hard battle against the Panthers to get in. So everybody's just enjoying the moment, making sure that the stage isn't going to be bigger than us, just taking it in by stride, day by day. But understand, we're playing a kid's game at the end of the day. We're playing football. So no matter what's going on around us, we're just going to go out there and play football, do our things, execute the way we know how to execute, play at our standard, and let the cards fall as they may.
Sorry, Mr. Ellison. It looks like we lost a little bit of connection with Lorenz. Would you like to go into your team, what the highlights you're looking forward to seeing this weekend with your team?
I'm just looking forward to see everybody come out and play ball. We've gotten healthier. We're not as healthy as we were at the beginning of the season, but we've definitely gotten healthier. So I'm looking to see these guys run around and play Hamburg type football, especially the defense that has been as my unit. I'm excited to see what they're going to do against this high-powered offense, an offense that we have a lot of respect for. Definitely no fear from, but we respect them and we know what they can do. We've seen what they've done, and they've done it to us. So for us, we just know we got to go out there, play ball, assert ourselves, and just be mentally locked into the game.
Absolutely. And I know that you just had to watch, unfortunately, the quarterback of Frankfurt, Gerxley, that you are facing against today. What are some notes that you have when it comes to the quarterback? Do you plan on having a nice little QB sack that you're able to say now?
Man, my playing days are over, but if I could get out there, I would definitely love to play against this guy. He's a hell of a ball player, very smart, very athletic, and he's a true leader. So, I got the utmost respect for him and how he leads that team and how he gets everybody involved. And it all starts with quarterbacks on either team. If you can get to the quarterback, if you can rattle the quarterback a little bit, then you can make the game a lot easier for you from a defensive standpoint. He's not an easy guy to rattle, and he's not an easy guy to get to. But we're going to do some things to try to get to him, to try to make him think a little bit more. And that's for everybody on their offense. We're just going to try to make sure we're doing our things and playing sound and solid football. And if we're able to do that, then we'll find ourselves in great position.
Absolutely. And it looks like I have our host, Lorenz, so I'm just going to drag him up here real quick.
Oh, good. All right, I can't hear you, though.
Oh, there we go. I'm so sorry.
Now we good.
Just had the internet cut out on me. I never had that happen before while on a live show. Hey, man.
Technology, that's how it is these days.
There you go. Yeah, it's a 21st century problems, right? But hey, Coach, so happy to have you on here with the defensive coordinator, Kendral Ellison of the Hamburg Sea Devils. Tell us about your football and life story a little bit. How did you end up becoming the defensive coordinator for the Sea Devils?
Oh man, me and football. I'm from Alabama, so football it runs deep in my veins. I started playing ball when I was 5 years old, actually, and that's many years ago. So I'm not gonna tell you how many years, but it's a lot of years ago. Played my high school ball in Decatur, Alabama. Went to college in Memphis, Tennessee. 2 days after college, I actually flew over, played in Finland, and I bounced around in Europe for a while, playing in Finland, playing in Germany, playing in Poland, playing in Czech Republic, bounced around for years. So I played 9.5 years over here in Europe. And after that, I just decided, okay, hey, I've always wanted to be a coach, and I was always a player coach anyway. So I jumped into the defensive coordinator role with the Hamburg Huskies, a team out here. Did that for a year and a half, became the head coach, and then eventually the Sea Devils came around. And for me, it was what I wanted to get away from playing football as a hobby and in a situation where we can hold guys a lot more accountable, which the ELF was able to give us. So it was a no-brainer, to coach against great coaches, get the best players in the city together, play against the best talent in Europe, and hopefully build something for the future and grow somewhat in comparison to what it may be a little taste of what it's like in America. So it's been exciting. It's been fun. It's been a lot of football for me in my life. It's definitely not just something I do for fun. It's definitely not a hobby for me. I'm locked and loaded into it. That's my passion. That's me, and it's a way of life. So, I don't want to take up too much time because I can tell you about all football all day and my story in football. But I've played a lot of football in a lot of different places.
Hey, that's awesome. And you just talked about getting the best players together. Obviously, you also got some imports, and you can probably relate to the pressure that's on them, not just to perform, but also to teach the game a little bit when you come over as one of the 4, I think, players that are allowed to come over from the United States.
Most definitely. The thing about, you got to think when I started coming out here in 2010, I got jumped on to Euro players a long time ago. And it definitely, it was just something small back then. Now it's something pretty big, and you can find thousands and thousands of guys on there, and it's hit or miss these days. So guys got to understand, talent just doesn't get you where you need to be over here in Europe. You got to be an ambassador of the game. You got to be a high character guy, and you got to be able to, expand that knowledge into guys who hadn't played as much football as you. So finding the right imports are always key, and we did a great job. We found some, we ended up getting Curtis Slater to come late in the season after Marlowe got injured. So Curtis is a veteran over here, brought some championship caliber to our team as he's won a few in the Maple League lately. Justin Rogers, Mr. Rogers, everybody knows who he is. Great kid, great ball player. Can't say enough about him on the defensive side. You look at Jadrian Clark, well-known quarterback, veteran quarterback, leader, and just a ball player. I played against Jadrian, actually, which is crazy. So I knew a lot about him. So, getting him over was a key pickup for us. And then you got Xavier, a great kid. Great. Can't say enough about him from a personal standpoint and just from an athletic standpoint. I'm glad I didn't have to play against Xavier. But these 4 guys, and even Marlowe, before Marlowe had his issues, we got lucky. We got lucky, and you look at Frankfurt; those guys also, they got a great group of guys. They got a great group of guys, and you see the teams that can bring in those final imports as puzzle pieces. They're in a great position right now. So I think that the league as a whole did a great job of finding not only great football players to come over here, but great guys and great people and high character guys.
You're absolutely right, and it's so important to get those imports right, those limited spots that you do have for them. And you guys are in the championship game. Speaks for itself. General manager done a lot of great work there with the coaching staff recruiting. But let's talk about your season a little bit. You guys started off very well, looked almost unbeatable. I mean, obviously the first game against Frankfurt, that was a close one, but after that, you guys were rolling and had some adversity strike. You lost 35-9 to Frankfurt. We just talked about with the other 2 guys in week 8. But in my opinion, watching you after that, watching you rebound, especially last week and really a battle against the Panthers was very impressive. What were the issues that you guys had and how did you fix them?
Oh man, you got to think about it though. When you look at this Hamburg roster, unlike Frankfurt, which is not a knock, they had the luxury of being a team before the season and coming in as a team already. Coach K had his staff, had some of his players, and they were already a great GFL1 team. For us, we put together the squad from the Hamburg Huskies, the Elmshorn Pirates, the Lübeck Cougars, and just all the teams around the area, and I don't mean to miss out or not talk about any of those teams, but we were a project. We always knew Hamburg could play good football, and if we got these guys together with a good coaching staff, we can put a good product on the field. So we actually hit our stride a lot sooner than we expected to. It actually started, and it was you take a lot of guys who were used to playing on a few teams that had losing cultures, and then you put them all together. We won faster than we expected to. So, that game when we went down to Frankfurt, regardless of the injuries, regardless of anything, they tore into us a little bit. But that was something that we needed. It was a reality check that, hey, this is what the ELF is. This is what big time football is. We're not going to make no excuses about that. We got beat. We can sit here and say a whole bunch of things of why we lost our stride, but that's part of football. You get injured, you get banged up, and that's why you got, a 65-man roster. It's the next man up. Guys got to step up and guys got to be able to play. And that just, gives credit to our coaching staff and also our guys to sit there and say, okay, hey, we got guys falling out. Kasim fell out. Bumbeck fell out. Now we got to find people that can step up and pick up that slack, and we were able to do that. And we always say, from a talent to talent standpoint, we feel like we can play on the field with anybody. It's just a mental standpoint and knowing that, hey, can we execute in pressure situations? And we've been put through some of those pressure situations. The Galaxy, that was the game that I feel like the one game that I feel like we really just lost. They just really beat us. The Panthers game, it was a change of 3 big plays that could have been the difference. And then the Leipzig game, we rested a lot of guys, but it is what it is, so you're not going to make any complaints about that one. But I think overall, we were just able to find our swagger back a little bit, find why we play football, why we came together, why we're doing the things we do, and why we put in the work that we put into. And, we had great leaders come around, and getting Miguel back. Miguel, that's our heart and soul of the team right there, so getting him back and having him around, just brought that energy back. And when we brought that energy back, that playoff game, we knew we knew 2-3 weeks before that game that, hey, we're locked in, we have home field advantage. It's all about when you play your best football. We happen to play it really good at first, so now we got to make sure we're playing it really good at the end of the season also. And that's all that matters. Everything that happens in the middle, it is what it is. We just got to make sure we're striking hot iron when we need to.
Got to get hot at the right time. Absolutely. That's so key, especially in a league that's as competitive as the ELF. But let's talk about from a macro perspective from the league. What are you expecting? We'll obviously have some new teams announced at halftime from all I know. You won't care about it that much at halftime, I'm sure, but maybe on Monday or Tuesday. But what are some of the things that you're expecting now for this league to really expand and to be, to me, it's already the most competitive league in European football, and in my opinion, especially if you go through all of the teams. But what do you think have to be the next steps to make it even more competitive and to make the product even better than it already is?
Man, the one thing this league is doing a great job of is presenting it well. Presenting it in a great way. It looks great. I took last weekend we were off, so I took some time to watch some GFL football. Just if football is on, I want to watch it no matter what. And, there's still a lot of talent in the GFL. Take nothing from those guys, but the league doesn't do a lot to, present it to the fans, get the fans involved, get the media involved, get everything around it involved, and give these guys, the players. It should be about the players. The players have a platform to do things that, if you just playing it as a hobby, if you just playing it in a league that's not really invested into it, then, you're not going to get out and you're not going to get anything out of it. So I think, it's year one going through the pandemic. What's come from this league? I'll be quite honest. When Coach Nomnison and Max came to me about it, I was a little skeptical. Because I've been around the states and I've been around leagues that say, hey, we want to start up, we want to do this, we want to do that. And then from a financial standpoint or just from a vision standpoint, they don't have everything in line the way that it should. And thus far, I think, we talk about Hamburg riding the wave and catching the wave. I think this league has done a great job riding that NFL wave that's coming back into Europe, and it's becoming a great thing. You have so many people locked into NFL football, college football, the Super Bowl, and no leagues over here were doing anything to kind of catch that fire. And I think this league has done a great job doing that. Now it's about, okay, can we fix the mistakes? Because there's a lot of things. I'm definitely not in the league headquarters to know what the problems are, but there's definitely a lot of rocks and a lot of things that has to be fixed, kinks. But, year one to year two, that's going to be the biggest change. What have you learned from year one to year two? The same we say, in football, from game one to game two is when you make your biggest growth, So from year one to year two, the league has to make growth. fix the mistakes, and hopefully it'll be a season out away from the pandemic so we can really see what can happen, what can be, what it can be. But I think they're going to add some quality teams, and the best players are going to be drawn to this league from an import standpoint, from a national homegrown standpoint. And when you can get all the best players, for me as a competitor, I want to play on the field where the best people are. So if all these competitors come together and say, hey, I want to represent my team, whether it's in Hamburg, whether it's in Frankfurt, whether it's in Stuttgart, whatever the case may be, and these new teams that's being added in these new markets, people want to see good football. They play football in Europe, and a lot of people in the States don't know about it. Like, even Coach K and Sullivan was talking about it. It's good football being played over here. But when you're spread out in so many different places, you can't see how good it really is. But so I think this league is doing a great job at that. I know Commissioner Izumi and Mr. Karaja are doing a great job in their work. And so I'm looking forward to seeing where it grows and just, put my stamp on wherever I can.
You're absolutely right. And I'll be honest, I was kind of skeptical. I'm from here. I'm from Germany. I heard about it. I was like, it sounds great, but I don't want to get too excited about it and then get disappointed. Man, it just kept on rolling. There were no real hiccups. Teams pulling out at last minute, and then you still had a team coming in Cologne. They then make the playoffs. Everyone involved has really done a great job. And I think this championship game got 20,000 tickets sold already. If you're in the area, if you can go buy some more. I was just on the website. You can still get some and be out there because it's going to be a show.
It's going to be big for sure.
It is. I don't know when the last time was that there were so many people at a football game here in Europe, but definitely with the pandemic, I think it's been a while. I know back in NFL Europe days, they were doing massive numbers. But
yeah.
Coach Ellison, thanks so much for hopping on. Do you have any parting shots, any final words that you need the people out there to know?
Listen, like you said, if you don't have a ticket, you don't want to miss this one. Get your ticket, come out, see us. The Galaxy has a great team. We put together a great team. It's going to be great football playing. So regardless of you're a fan of the Galaxy or the Sea Devils, come watch some good football. We're doing this for Europe. We're doing this for everything that this is over here. So I look forward to seeing everybody around. We're going to do everything we can to put on the show. So I'm just looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Me too. I can't wait to be out there on Sunday. And for everyone that can only view it on TV, I already said, you can go to the website, go get the pay-per-view and go watch the game. I guarantee you it's going to be a good one. Going to be a little earlier for the people in the U.S., kind of like waking up to a London game, but you'll have a proper jam-packed football Sunday if you tune in. Coach, good luck. Best of luck for the game. Been really impressed with your work, with your team's work all season, and hope you guys keep it up for the seasons to come. So we keep getting some more and even better football here in Europe.
Definitely, I appreciate you having me. Appreciate you doing everything you're doing. Hey, I'm just ready. I'm ready. I'm excited. So it ain't too much more to say here.
Let's go. I love it. Coach Ellison, Kendral Ellison from the Hamburg Sea Devils. You can tell he's not going to sleep too much, the next couple of days. He's just ready to go. You'll see him fired up on the sideline doing what he does. Excited to see the game. I'm getting even more excited than I already was just talking to all these great guests. And really, last but not least, we have Jakeb Sullivan just said, hey, the offensive linemen never get any credit. We're here at the NFL Draft Bible on Sports Illustrated. We'll give him some credit because Keanu Ebanks is joining us now. He is the left tackle of the Hamburg Sea Devils. He's
What's
an
up,
absolute.
guys? What's up, Lorenz?
Hey, how you doing, Keanu? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, man. Just had a little last workout before the game, so I'm feeling good right now.
And you're also then traveling to Düsseldorf with the rest of the crew tomorrow. So you guys treating it kind of like a away game.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. on the bus, and then it's the media day.
There you go. I got to talk to the media. You're having your media day early, hopping on with me here. I really appreciate it. But let's talk about your journey into football. I always love hearing these stories. Obviously, I'm European. All these guys have their own story. How did you get introduced to the game, and how did you end up playing with the Sea Devils?
Well, my mother used to live in the States in New Jersey for about 8 years. So I used to go and visit her like 3, 4 times a year, stay there for a little while. And I started watching football on TV, and then I saw the '07 Giants win the Super Bowl. And then ever since then, I was hooked, to be honest.
That was the helmet catch, right?
That's the one. Yeah, Tyree.
There you
The
go.
Plaxico in the end zone.
And I know you weren't always a guy playing offensive line. You tell us a little bit about that.
So I actually started playing at 19 years old at the University of Hull, and I played defensive end, defensive tackle, offensive guard, offensive tackle. Played a bit of safety, running back, tight end, you name it. I've played it, but I started playing offensive tackle full time 2018 when I went to Hildesheim. But I can still rush the passer. Still got a swim move in me.
So maybe if Kasim Edetail isn't ready to go, they got to throw you out there and play you two ways, and you'll throw some swim moves, as you said.
Yeah.
I would certainly like to see that.
Put me on third and long.
Yeah, the true pass rush down. Tee off and go get after the quarterback. But before the season, before joining the ELF, we just talked about with Coach Ellison, it was a bit of a risk. Nobody really knew what it was going to look like. What were your expectations going in, and have those expectations been met?
Honestly, I was umming and ahhing whether to come to Hamburg with this I've seen a lot of new leagues pop up around the world and fail immediately. So I'm like, okay. But then Coach Nomison talked me around. So I was like, okay, we'll play some good football. Frankfurt are here. Jadrian's here. Kasim's here. Okay, there's some good players, some good football players, some good teams. So I'm gonna try it out. And then I didn't think it'd be like this. Honestly, it exploded into something that's bigger than anything I've ever been part of. Honestly, it's crazy how big it's gotten.
Yeah, it's been great to see for me as well. It's been a lot of fun to follow. You're obviously the top offensive lineman. I know a lot of people don't give the offensive lineman credit. I just want to say right here, this is the guy. If you want to watch any offensive lineman or pay attention to anyone in the league, no one does it better than Keanu. Without gassing you up too much here, but
appreciate that, Lorenz. Thank you.
Just an objective opinion right here, because you know what Jakeb said is true. They never get enough. They never get enough credit, and but here we're trying to change that here. But the team, the Sea Devils, your team, obviously, I think you guys, watching the game, watching the championship or the semifinals, so to say, I thought you guys really stepped up your game compared to the first couple of weeks, or to the games before, in terms of play call and really being creative. And did you hold a little bit of that back, knowing you guys were in the playoffs anyways, and kind of sandbagging, so to say?
I mean, we didn't sit back. We still wanted to win the games, but we held a few things like underneath, and definitely still holding out. Got a few surprises with Frankfurt this weekend, but also I just feel like as an offense, we're just clicking better now. It just took us a lot of time to find our rhythm, but I feel like we're playing our best football right now.
And obviously had some injuries there, but I think 2 weeks ago, Xavier Johnson, he showed if he's healthy. Man, I know Madre London is a great player. I might take Xavier Johnson over any run back in the league, but obviously having the big guys up front blocking helps. But this is a different offense than what Frankfurt saw in week 8, which was obviously a big setback. Was it tough for you guys from a player's perspective to recover from that game where you guys really got blown out 35-9 on the road?
I mean, for me, honestly, it was I felt like we needed a loss. Honestly, we needed to get gut punched to see what it feels like, so it didn't happen to us again. So we know how hard we have to practice. We can't just rest on being 6-0, because when you're winning, everything's easy. Do you know what I mean? Like, win 6 games, all right, we're those guys, and then get punched in the mouth. It's like, okay, can you stand back up again and get back in the fight? And I felt that was important for us, to be honest.
Yeah, and it has, I think, made you guys a better football team. What's the key to beating Frankfurt this time around from your perspective?
running the ball. That they've got a great defense. They've had a great rush defense for the last 5, 6, 7 years, maybe. So if we can get X going, X is the guy. If we can get X going and then make him have to respect the run and the pass, we're gonna have a good day, I feel like.
And
just be physical. Sorry.
And get you to spike the football, obviously, because I mean I know there's Rob Gronkowski, but after that it might be you if we're ranking people's spiking ability. How many times did you do it against Rocklow? Was that like 5 times you spiked the ball?
It was free. It was free.
All right, that's still pretty good.
It's because they kept giving me the ball. X kept giving me the ball every time. I was like, okay, spike that as high as I can. And even the rest was like, go do it. I was like, okay, why not?
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you got to love to see the refs having a little bit of fun there. See, we have it in the ELF. Can't do any taunting or any of that in the NFL. If you're tired of it, just tune into the ELF. You're able to spike the football and celebrate and do all that fun stuff, and you'll get some good football as well. But who's the toughest player to block on Frankfurt, in your opinion, if you want to shout out one guy?
I mean, they're all that defense is good. They're all pretty good. They got amazing rotation. I don't think there's one guy that's the hardest, but they all do different things very well. They play the run very well, and they got good bunch of pass rushers. So I give them credit, to be honest. But I don't think there's.
So obviously Kendral, who's not tuning in right now, but that's who you want to say, right? Unfortunately hurt, but I think you guys know each other pretty well, right?
Yeah, Kendral's my guy, man. I've got a lot of respect for Kendral. Kendral's a hell of a player. He'll be back even better next year. I'm sure of it.
I can't wait either. And for you, are there any long-term career goals potentially beyond the ELF? Do you want to win championships in the ELF? Do you have any other aspirations potentially going to the league? Or anything you're working towards right now?
I mean, the league and the CFL has always been the goal since I started playing, to be honest. So hit me up, guys. But right now, I'm just honestly just focused on getting this win in this ring, getting this championship, beating Frankfurt, and after that, I'm ready. There
you go. And any scouts tuning in, we got Keanu Ebanks right here. The man 6'6". He's got 36-inch arms. He's a really good athlete. You just heard him. He played safety, running back. So give him a call and get him on your team. But lastly, I don't know. Have you ever been to Hamburg before starting to play for the Sea Devils?
Yeah, I actually played here with the Invaders in 2018, and we beat the Huskies by like 35-16 or something. And Coach Kendral actually played for the Huskies back then. So that's how we first met.
Dang, there you go. I mean, after that, he knew he had to sign you. But what's your favorite food over there for people that have never been?
Doona. Get yourself a doona when you get to Hamburg, like a doona durum. It's like a wrap with like kebab meat and salad, and it's great.
You a big fish guy?
I do love fish. They have great fish over here.
Yeah, I know you can get some good fish over there in Hamburg. But hey, Keanu, thanks so much for coming on with me and with us here on the State of Football on the Sports Illustrated Network. Any parting shots, anything that you want to tell the fans that people out there need to know about you, about the team, about Sunday, something like that?
Watch the game. If you can come to the game, it'd be amazing. It'd be great to see you all guys all there. If not, it'll be on, it's like so many different TV channels, I think. So make sure you watch it. My name is Keanu Ebanks. You can find me on Twitter at Ebanks Keanu, I think is my handle, and on Instagram at BigKey65. I appreciate having me, Lorenz.
Hey, I love having you on. Love talking to you, and best of luck for the game. Go hit him up on social. You know, on there we go. There's the Twitter, Ebanks Keanu. You got it.
And Lorenz, you're at the game, right?
Yeah, I'll be out there.
Come hit me up after the game, okay? I'm gonna let you hold the trophy, all right?
All right. I'll take your word for it. I'll be coming down there, going past all the securities, and be like, "Hey, Keanu Ebanks invited me." I'll take this clip and show it to all the security guys. I really appreciate that.
Perfect,
hey,
my
guy. Thanks so much for coming on. Go follow him, and but that's it today for our ELF championship game, extravaganza, bonanza, as Rick, the founder, would call it. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the middle there, but I'm really grateful for all the guests, for Coach Kösling, for Jakeb Sullivan, for Keanu, and obviously for Coach Ellison to come on here to talk to me and talk to us and really preview the game. I can't say enough about it. Go watch it if you get the chance to. Go get the pay-per-view. If you're over here and you get the TV channels, go tune in. If you can get out there and still buy a ticket, I know they're still available. Go do that. I'm sure it's going to be worth it. But also, if you're not done, if you haven't had enough football talk on a Friday morning, we got Big Law Lawrence Johnson, who's obviously my twin because of the name, right? We got Lorenz and Lawrence, and he's going to sit down with Emmanuel Accio later at 11, and to talk about him and a couple of things that he's doing. I think he wrote a book. He's got an outstanding video out there that he won an Emmy for. Is up for an Emmy. It's going to be great. Big Law does a great job doing this, and tune in for it. And outside of that, I can just say thanks so much for tuning in to me and to me and all the rest of the guys, all the rest of the guests. And go check out everything we got going on the website, si.com/NFL/draft. I got a lot of draft content. I also had some ELF content out there. I'll be out there at the game. I'll keeping you updated if you follow the socials. And next week, I'll be on the State of Football a couple times, taking over with Rick. So it's not going to be a full kids show takeover, but it's still going to be fun. Going to have some great topics. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow also. Tomorrow on the Tailgate Show as well. Don't forget about that one. Getting you ready for college football, but then State of Football is going to be back weekdays 9 a.m. Eastern to bring you all the news at any level of football, whether it's in Europe, CFL, NCAA, NFL. We're bringing it all to you here at the NFL Draft Bible. It's what we do. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 10.